Good morning.
Morning.
I have Heidi R here this morning.
That's right. That's right. You said it well.
Top makeup artist.
one, one of many.
One of many top makeup artists.
Yes, please.
I'm so happy to have you here. You have no idea.
I'm happy to be here.
I be stalking you on Facebook. That's just my word. I love your reviews. I love your hauls. I love when I really appreciate when you show the photos
Okay.
of different things. Like, just look at me. Yeah, I love it.
Cool. Thank you very much. But I have to admit that's Lucinda as well.
Mhm.
And most of the time it's her. But when you see like quick shots or quick reviews,
Mhm.
that's my portion. But Lucinda has really taken the page and run with it. She loves doing that. But she has made my life so much easier. Products that we both like
Mhm.
and that people can afford.
Yeah.
She tries to find in Bridgetown, so that has really given our page a boost, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah, because I was like, you're a powerhouse. She's getting all these pictures.
I have lots of help, but she is really the right hand woman that gives me a good boost.
All right, so pronouncing the name of your business is tricky for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Moden Makeup. Yeah, Moden.
Get that name.
It's a funny story, girl. My aunt lives in Germany. We were actually watching some of her Moden shows, which is a model show.
Yeah.
So what she does is approach boutiques, local boutiques that might not be doing so well. And she tells me, give me some clothes. I have models, I have dancers, and we'll put on a show for you in the car park. And that way you'll get customers coming in, we'll boost your sales and so on. So my girl gone with she Jamaican style, big bond her my thing, and showing them how to wine and all of that, and teaching the girls how to dance and the fellas, and that's how she gained popularity. So in Germany, it's called a modern show, which means like a model show, modeling show. So I thought, I like that name. She said, yeah, when you finally start your business, you can call it that. So I said, well, all the business we talking about modern or modern, but it's actually modern makeup, which means model makeup or makeup for models.
Modern makeup. Mm-hmm. Okay, so owning your own business and being an entrepreneur in your business, in your family, sorry.
Funny enough, it does, yeah. I guess in retrospect, we have doctors and we have mostly doctors. We got like 2 or 3 of them. We have musicians and artists, and while they have a day job, everybody has a sideline, which is cool.
That's great. That's great. So tell us about life right now.
It was very simple actually. I had a wonderful childhood. My parents always made sure that I had the best of everything. I went to private school back in the day when it was difficult for people to go to private school.
Yes.
When I started off, I started at Happyville Montessori just down the road.
Yeah.
That is opposite Hilltop High School. And I had an excellent upbringing there. The teaching there was really good. And they allowed us to be really creative. So I guess from a young age, it was learn with your hands. And I was not an artist, but any stretch you imagine, I can't draw a stick man. But I enjoyed coloring, and Heidi was always very chatty. So the sharing part was for me. My mommy and daddy were at home tonight, and we were watching TV and blah, blah, blah. So I got to travel a lot as a young girl. As I grew up into a teenager, then my parents allowed me to explore all kinds of different options. I didn't have to just stick to school.
Yes.
I didn't join cadets because I didn't want to. It wasn't forced. I didn't join guides because I wanted to. I was in the choir. I was in the music, in the band.
Yeah.
I even got to play with the police band when I got to be 16. It was kind of nerdy day, you know.
Yeah.
Police band, no. But things that I enjoyed doing. My parents never stopped me from doing as long as I kept my grades up. So childhood was, I cannot not adulthood hard, but childhood was fantastic.
Oh, it's very hard. Yeah.
It was good.
Well, you said that you come from a family that's obviously entrepreneurship is very strong in it.
Yeah.
But still, for Heidi now to do it, it's still a different story.
You better believe it, girl.
It takes courage. So what really got you there?
A job. I can identify with you.
Yeah.
I was working. It was a decent place to work, but the stress level was too high. I was at the doctor almost every week at one point, and that was coming down to the end. I was at the doctor I would say once a month, for about a year.
Yeah.
And what the breaking point for me was when I went in and he said, but you're developing deep vein thrombosis. I said, what the heck is this now? What's that? 26. I can't deal with that. He said, but you haven't left that job yet. And just saying that to me shocked me into reality. I said, well, at this age, I should be enjoying life. I should be doing things that make me happy.
Yeah.
And sitting down behind the desk handing out money, which I was not very good at. Customer service part, yeah, but maths, I feel that way. But I enjoy dealing with people and interacting with customers, but it just wasn't for me. And I did approach them. I said, well, can I work in just customer service instead of with the cash? They wanted me to conquer the cash because that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
That turned me off. I don't want to be placed in a box. If I can tell you that I can do better in another area, let me do it. So working for myself, I can do as well as I can in whatever area I choose. Yep.
Well, 9 to 5s are very stringent, and if it doesn't make you grow, it's going to actually push you to
Yeah.
It's where you're gonna step out.
And go mad.
Correct.
Or go mad.
What other than your family? What influences Heidi? What drives her to continue being an entrepreneur?
My faith.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian, and I believe in maintaining what God has given you. And this didn't just happen by chance. I was at home one day and I said to mommy, I can't stay home all the time doing nothing. I think I was only home for about 2 weeks after I left the job, and I said I need to do something. And it came to me, it was on Facebook. And I said, but I do makeup. I love black opal and I love applying it. I wasn't so hot at the time, to be honest. And I said, well, let me make ladies beautiful. Let me work at making women feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
So I asked God to give me the strength, the guidance. I really didn't know what I was doing. And it just so happened I had a friend who was a photographer, which is Wade Phillips.
Ooh,
And I approached him. I said, well, Wade, you know, I have so many things to do in such small time. In that, I wanted to do makeup, I wanted to do hair, I wanted to do nails, but I think makeup is the option for me. So would you help me?
Yeah.
And he said, sure. Whenever I have a shoot, I'll give you a call. But I came up with the shoot concept first.
Yeah.
And that's how it grew. And God just allowed all the things to fall into place. I had a lot of naysayers. I had a lot of people laughing at me.
Oh, yeah.
There were tons of people saying, she makeup look bad. I would never go to she. And yeah, Pageants and people in general don't like you to step outside the box. So I had to make it so that I was comfortable. I had to make it so that I was strong enough. I had enough turtle flesh to just do what I want to do and ignore what they were saying. Because if you're white people, girl, you would never step out on faith. So I must credit God for my leap of faith, because I don't have it. My mom, of course, because she supports me 24/7, and Andy is always there. I could tell he want 4,000 different shades of foundation. He could try to get 2. I tell him I couldn't get the other 2, but I tried my best. So I have good support.
Okay, I'm very happy for you.
Telling me, thank you.
Well, starting business in itself is very hard. Are there any decisions that you made that you regret?
I can't think of any offhand. I would say not structuring the business or having a business plan from the get-go. That was bad. Not using the resources that were obviously there. And I say that tongue-in-cheek because having met a lot of my clients and having been approached by various media houses and so on, and I said, well, didn't you ever join the Small Business Association? What about the Barbadian Business Trust? And they're like,
the things,
But if the information was readily available and I didn't have to seek it, because Heidi's very lazy, I would have had no problem. But having to go out there and seek it was difficult for me. And I think there should have been a forum, whether it's Facebook or there's somebody in the area, like a youth commissioner, youth commissioners used to do that, come to your house and ask you what you want to do with your life and so on. If I'd had that, I think I would have been able to structure the business better from the get-go, instead of having to do that like last year and deciding what vein is Moden going to take in the next 5 years. So not having a business plan is probably the only thing that I regret so far.
Well, as you know, I'm on Facebook and I love small business. I love creative people. And I find out that a lot of people are messaging me and we're talking. And I think that a lot of people who have already gone ahead and started their business are experiencing just what you're telling me. I have people that come and message me or they talk to me. And it's curious to me because it's like Barbados thrives on small business for years, but these people somehow, although they've been going around, they've never come into contact with someone that says, here, I have these educational, classes or whatever. And I find that very strange. Or is it that we're being very quiet or selfish about what we know? Is it like a half something?
I think the selfishness is definitely there because I don't want you to succeed, because then how am I going to get my goal? But when I first started out, there was a group of us. I have to shout out Chanel and Camila from Heidi R Makeup. They are phenomenal. Deirdre Blackett as well. She was the first person to encourage me to step out as well. I was like, I ain't doing this. But Deirdre was very, very strong, very, very fervent with her makeup artistry as well. She said, no, this is what you want to do, do it. Heidi R Makeup is phenomenal at makeup. They get editorial, they do shoots, they are big in Barbados. And they need to be recognized for it. I would say they're the premier makeup artists here. No. We are the makeup artists for the people. I know what you mean. Everybody has their place. So for the masses, you want to know where to go and get your makeup, we'll tell you. You want to know how to get a technique done, we'll let you know. We educate. They are artists. So everybody has their place. You have to know your place. And as Camila always says, stay in your lane, girl.
Stay in your lane. That is it. Stay in your lane. Okay. I can tell from when you were speaking about your childhood that you're very, despite you say you can't draw a stick man, I can tell you're very creative. Your canvas is obviously the face.
Yeah.
So how do you balance that creative side with the discipline that being an entrepreneur calls for, which I've heard you complain about?
I am disciplined to a point. Lucinda and Anderson are trying to get me in a schedule now.
Yes.
Where I have a day for blogging, a day for filming. I have to practice on somebody's face at least once a week. And I'm just, the creative side is, this is not normal. Yes. I should just get up in the morning, okay, I'm going to write a blog, okay, I'm going to do a video. It can't work.
No.
And we're trying to build a brand with international recognition. So this is why Lucinda and I have decided to do videos so that we get some money on for YouTube. Hello, we want partnership too. We want to be the first Caribbean partners.
And they're right behind you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. I think the important thing is knowing where I want to get, and I want Moden to be in every household. I want people to have heard of Moden Makeup. They don't have to hear Moden Makeup by Heidi, but hear of the brand. Yes. I want people to want shirts. I want people to call me if they want bridal. I want people to call me if they want to do makeup. Yes. You have a play at church, give us a call. And I really appreciate the far we've got so far, and that is where the discipline comes in. I have to follow up with receipts and invoices. I have to do the books. So the discipline, I would first say it, I'm like trimming it.
Okay, so definitely is having in your case, it's having a good team.
Having a good team, for sure.
Tell us a little bit about Moden. This is your sales pitch here now.
Aye.
Come, let's go.
Moden Makeup, as I said, is a company for the people. What we appreciate is sharing knowledge. We don't keep it to ourselves. So if there is a technique that we find on the net or something that I discover, I'll tell Lucinda about it. She'll disseminate the information. What we're trying to do now is through classes and education, give people the opportunity to become makeup artists, which means that Heidi has to get more certification. Because the point that I'm at now is not enough. It's not good enough for me to teach somebody. The point that we're at now is for basic makeup artistry, which is what a lot of people are into. They want to figure out how do I make my face look better and maybe apply makeup to my girlfriend. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not wearing these dovetail eyelashes here and there for nothing. I know what I'm talking about. I appreciate good quality makeup. But there's a place for makeup that is
correct. Yes, drugstore.
I love Profusion. Number, what was it, $3 store? Why can't we go in there, everybody, and buy a palette and just keep that in our makeup bags and be ashamed when we take it out for what? It costs me $3.
All of my right get make sure.
Bless the name of the Lord. I have about 45 at home. You understand? All you have to do is wet those puppies, put them on your eyeballs, and nobody knows it's not Profusion, or Infusion, or Infusion. So this is what we're all about. Moden Makeup is about getting the information out there, making sure that you understand what to do once you get the information. If you got a question, call, email, message me on Keep, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, everything but pick what we are.
Yes, okay. How is social media? Has it boosted business? Have you been able to use it successfully to boost business?
Thank God for it. If not for who can pay me an extra $300 for a spread of beauty corner? Not me. I used to work there. I used to work at the Advocate. There's a place for media, but you have to be realistic as a small business person. A portion of your budget has to go to advertising. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Keek, Instagram, all of these platforms have allowed us to be able to showcase what we have to offer the public without paying. And you still have the option of paying. There's sponsored ads on Facebook now. You can get sponsorship on Twitter. There's Google ads. So as long as you know how to manipulate these features, you can get a good boost for your buck. I ain't paying a cent if I don't have to.
That's true.
We keep it in the bag. When the decade is next year, girl, we gonna save.
And the brides are on. That's where the brides are. That's where the potential brides are. Yeah.
And they're trying to find the best quality for the smallest price. Our prices are fantastic. I think in comparison to a lot of other artists out there, what sets us apart is that I actually travel with the bride to take her photographs, and then I go on to the reception area. All of that is included in my pricing. It depends on who the person is. Sometimes I don't have to go to reception because the face stays, but it gives the bride a sense of confidence because instead of having to worry about patting and making sure the lipstick is back on after that first kiss, I am there to reapply, dab, make sure that all of her bridesmaids are in good order. And even if I don't do the makeup sometimes, I still go and give the person a touch-up. So it's a matter of relationship, and I think that is what sets us apart. We go the extra mile.
If Heidi wasn't doing makeup, what would Heidi be doing?
Just selling clothes? Why not? If Heidi wasn't doing makeup, what would Heidi be doing? I'd probably be working in customer service. I found I like that.
Yeah.
I want a no-brainer job. I want something that I can just sit down behind a desk, and when people come in, I smile, I look pretty. I'll help them out. I only have to deal with a little bit of cash at the end of the day, and I lock your store and go home.
Yeah.
I think I would enjoy selling makeup rather than applying it.
Okay.
I like the idea of a retail store rather than having to use Facebook as a form or a medium. Because Facebook, you know, I can't interact with the customer with Facebook.
Yes.
With YouTube, a little bit. With Instagram, a little bit more.
Yeah.
But with Facebook, it's very limiting. So I like to meet you and talk to you and touch you. I'm very touchy-feely and get to know you, and then I can look at you and say, okay, Allison likes earth tones, but she like a little pop of color because she's wearing red and blue and she color coordinating and stuff, and she got a little hair on today, so that means that she's funky, you know. I can gauge a little better the type of person I'm with, and that makes it more fun for me. So I would definitely work in customer service if I wasn't working as a makeup artist.
Yeah, for me too. I have the same. I like to meet people. I like to
make them
comfortable. I like to make them laugh because I'm supposed to be a funny person. But I can see it coming off of you how much you appreciate people and customer service. Well, the right kind of people and customer service. And I think you're going to get very far in this business with that approach. You know, despite what people have to say. And I think as a makeup artist, you have to be a people person, and you have to be able to, because brides, like, I would assume that working with brides can be very.
We've been fortunate. We've had a few weirdos.
When
I say weirdos, most of the time it's not the bride that causes the problem. Not even the mother. It's just, you know, these external people who on the day seem to develop bridezilla complex, and the bride is sitting there all calm and collected, and they're flipping out.
I was one of those people.
I hope that's one of the time that I could be freaking out. So I'm sure I could be. It's either I'm gonna be really quiet or really, really frantic. But so far, God has been good. We haven't had any problematic brides or grooms. I would say it's always the people on the outside, like the coordinator, the limo driver, the priest. But so far, so good.
Yeah. Who's Heidi's role model, business-wise? Role model, inspiration?
My role model. I'd have to say my dad. He died in 2008. But thanks, man. But the good thing about it was that I grew up enough with him to see how he handled his business. My mom was his right hand woman. She dealt with all the accounts. And what that taught me was, if you know that you're not good at something, you give it to somebody else that you know can handle it. He used to call her money bags, huh? Because she used to walk over 4,000 different checkbooks. He was an attorney at law. So she used to have like checkbooks, all like cash, everything, a bare little envelopes. She just used to see her go through the envelopes. Oh, what cash you need? What inspires me when I think back to when I was a child, because he was rough. My father was not one. He's loving dads, come on, hugging, all that. He wasn't like that. But he liked to talk a lot, very much like me. And one thing that he instilled in me was, you know, the benefits go with the burden. And that is something that I always remember, because business is difficult. Some days you're up, some days you don't. Some days I don't make any money at all. Some days I'm getting calls for jobs and I go to them, I don't get paid. I had to put a policy in place where you either give me 50% or I don't show up. For him, it was a defensive thing. He had to make sure that his family was looked after. There was me and my mom, there was my brother and his mom, there was him. And he always made sure that we were all well provided for, even after his death. And that was because of good planning. But a little crazy at the end, because he didn't think he was going to die. And I could understand, you know, you want to still remain strong for your family, but you got to stay focused. And I think out of all the people in my life, my dad was probably the first person that I got a little inspired with. Or by.
Beauty-wise.
Oh,
you're a beauty role model, inspiration. Who inspires you?
Well, more recently, I would have to say Marilyn Monroe. Diana Ross definitely inspires me. And these are classic beauties.
Yes.
I love Shaka Khan. When I was little, I had a whole set of hair. And I used to flick it. It was hilarious. And they used to call me Little Shaka Khan because I used to be flicking my hair. I feel for you. And I thought I was hot. Of course, Whitney Houston. She was gorgeous. People like Toni Braxton. I love. Oh gosh, there's so many people. I have to say, I love Angela Bassett. There's a whole set of, I would say, mostly black women.
I was just going to say.
But my top, I would say my top three, Marilyn Monroe for sure, and she's number one because, you know,
Marilyn.
Jean, what's your name?
Billie Jean.
Norma Jean,
yes.
Norma Jean, she did there.
Yeah.
She was not too cute before she started out.
No.
But she redefined beauty. And she wasn't no bone bird neither.
Exactly.
She was quite
she was very happy with how she appeared.
Her girth.
Yeah, she was very happy with how she appeared. And I've been noticing a lot of people are resurrecting her looks. They're being inspired by her looks all over again long after
makeup is trending now, where you have the classic red lip. And you're doing the cut crease, making the eyes very simple but attractive. A nice arch brow. The brow doesn't have to be too structured. I really like that classic look. I'm not a big artsy makeup artist type person. I can do it, but pushing me to that limit annoys me. I prefer enhancement. Diana Ross for sure, because she made beauty with nothing, and she ain't too cute. Let me get it correct.
She isn't. She just had. I think her eyes were her.
Eyes, and she I think she redefined makeup back in the day, because like that would have had a makeup. I talk.
Correct.
But she made it attractive to wear eyelashes and have a nice full brow, and then she had a thin brow. Even Aretha Franklin wasn't too. She wasn't really a dress up lady. But when she went on the stage, boy, you had to take notice. So I think that era, 50s, 60s. Even the 70s, definitely anybody from that era, but Marilyn Monroe, what's her name? Diana Ross, and I think I'd have to say Patti LaBelle. I love Patti LaBelle's style. She is so out there. Patti LaBelle had a big schnoz, and back in the day when it wasn't fashionable, she got a nose job. She said, "I got that sucker out."
Yes,
I love that. It was quite large. Like an airplane. Woo.
But she had a good structured face to kind of like handle that. So it was handsome. It wasn't like the best.
I like that. It was handsome.
But I guess with it, you have to do what makes you happy, which, as you say, enhance as opposed to just
slap it on.
I think Pageants. Well, how would you say Pageants have come? Because obviously, I suspect you love makeup. You always did love makeup. You didn't? Okay, but you would have seen folks. You would have seen her makeup
trending.
Yeah. So, do you think Pageants have come a long way? Because I think so.
I would even go a little further. But to be honest, we have a cousin who used to be the fashion fair rep, and that is kind of where my love for it really started. And Mommy used to wear a lot of fashion fairs. She had these little pink palettes, and there were about 2 or 3 colors. I like the pink, the gold, and the red. Can't remember the names now. And more recently, they discontinued fashion fair here in Barbados, and I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. I never even bought any fashion fair products here, so it was strange. But when I found out I could no longer get it, I was real upset. So my love came from there. We also had another cousin. His wife used to work at Harrison's, and back in the day, if you know Harrison's, then and Kia Shepherd, the ladies always look well made, very well groomed. And she started doing makeup there as well. And then I had another cousin, she was doing it. So it was always around me. I wasn't particularly interested in it, to be honest. But I just liked how they looked so put together. And then one day I just started with a silver eyeshadow right across my eyelid. And these 2 big eyes here. And I got this silver thing right across there. And I got in church one day, and this lady said to Mommy, "I want you to tell Heidi that I like her makeup. She looks pretty." Well, child, when I saw some pictures of that same makeup and something, I just thought that was a liar. The devil's a liar. But it looked, for her, it was, I was making an effort to make my face, and there's nothing wrong with enhancement. So I think that's where my love started.
So you were definitely always creating, as you say, makeup for the people.
For sure. I think with Barbadians especially, we love trends. If it going in America, Canada, England,
can't live without it.
We can't start a trend. We go run with a trend. The trend with the bottom lipstick thing back in the day, that was a bad trend. Nobody else in the Caribbean used to do that. Or the world. Traveling the world, you see the boy with lipstick on the bottom. It's over on the top lip. We got it red, we got a full sore. But I think locally now, girls are watching YouTube. So YouTube is the devil, girl. Oh Lord. Everybody know can highlight contour, eyebrows beat down. To put it eyelashes on will be born, child, I can't do it. I would say that we are doing a lot better.
Yes.
Can I stop seeing pink blush hair on your cheeks with one orange and one red lip? Please stop using black on your eyebrows exclusively. If you're gonna do it, mix it with a little brown. If you're going to have on eyeshadow that falls down, like the R Profusion, please use some mascara to pick it on back up. And if you decide that you're going to eat, please wipe your whole mouth so you don't have patchy lipstick all over. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, I think young ladies are doing quite well, and some of the young men too. Have you noticed?
That's another topic altogether. Okay. For you, I guess you've come to a place where you're enjoying what you do for a living. What's the best part of it for you?
I would say making people look in a mirror and smile. I think that is one of the best feelings originally when they started, people would be like, oh yeah, it's nice. Now, I can guarantee you within like 5-10 minutes, they start to feel a little better and then loosen up. And they're sitting down, they're telling me all about the boyfriend, girlfriend, and husband. And then by the end of the session, when they hand them the mirror and they go like that, it's like, that's me. And then this big smile pops out and they're laughing or they're a little embarrassed because they don't know how to react. That is the best feeling.
I want to know more about the structure of business, because at the end of the day, I do these videos so that people who are watching can, follow and talk Heidi's footsteps. So just what's it like? How's it structured? Day-to-day running?
Moden is eclectic. I like to say Mondays usually I try to take off, but Monday's the day that I go straight on all social media. I update everything. On a daily basis, I try to make sure that I have each social media network at the point where if people just on a whim decide to go and look at Moden Makeup, there's something new to look at, and that is extremely difficult. I'm fielding calls, not every single day, but I do get calls regularly, trying to get the people to pay me my money. That is a big thing. And actually, this year is about development. Andy, Lucinda, and I refer to two of them because it's a partnership. Moden isn't just Heidi, it's Moden Makeup by Heidi, but there's Bridal, she's one of our makeup artists, there's Lisanne, Wade, and Chris, even though they're vet picked, we're all a family. And so in order to keep the name out there, every single day I'm on Twitter and on the cell phone or WhatsApp, uploading different pictures, editing, and writing blogs, or I'm commenting on different social media platforms. I try to keep abreast of all the activities going on the island and abroad, so that if maybe somebody will want makeup done, I can be there. So it's day-to-day running of Moden. It can be stressful. Some days it's really quiet. Some days I don't have anything to do and I can just zen and relax. But from last year, I would say like April or May, like around the same time, it just took off, and I'm grateful for it. I wish we had more paying business, but it's a process. So for now, I'm enjoying being able to have downtime when I want it, but still maintaining a presence. That's really cool.
I can tell. I haven't gotten to know you and your business very long, maybe as long as you've been, but I'm seeing definite improvement day to day. Like when I go on to my Instagram, whenever I decide to, Moden Makeup is there, their presence is there. When I go on Facebook, you guys' presence is there. So I can say that from listening to you, because I really listen to what people say, and I get an idea of what's going on there. So I realize that Lucinda and Andy, are having influence on you. I can tell.
They're not allowing me to get any. I can't cut the slack. Just yesterday we filmed some videos with Lucinda, and it's something I always wanted to do. I didn't think she would want to do it because Lucinda's very behind the scenes type chick, but she has such a passion for makeup, and she has a passion for Moden. I'll be honest, initially I was like, what is this girl's program? But then I'm a straight up person. I try to be as honest as I can. It doesn't always work out. Sometimes I go like shrink back. Not that I would lie, but I need to step back so that I don't have to have the confrontation. I said, Lucinda, what's the deal? Where does he really want me? And that is why the business started to do a little better. She told me straight up she wants to run the page. She can see herself uploading photos and telling people about the best places to get makeup, tips and tricks, talking to people about her favorite types of things to see on the internet with regard to makeup. And it made such a tremendous difference to the page. She boosted our views to like 700. It's because of her that we're at that point.
It's very like, I love it. I don't go a day without going on Moden Makeup. I tell you, even if I can't go out there and buy this and buy that, I'd be like, okay, I know where it is. So you know, Moden says that you can go in. I didn't know beauty supplies was Moden says you can go in beauty supplies. You didn't know it was there yet? I know now,
and that is what Lucinda wanted. Get it information, and she talks really fast to me. Oh yeah, you got to get information. So we built our relationship and friendship on that, and on the makeup that we enjoy now. So I would Andy is the business side. He also has a company called Team Imports, which is his sideline. We push it mostly because it's really ours. He just, makes the orders and so on. He doesn't go out there and find people to order things for. But Lucinda and I push the brand. And it's really Moden's affiliate company. So that is something that we're trying to push as well. Barbadian is limited as far as we can get.
It still is.
It still is. Even though we're opening up our horizons and people are asking for things, so the companies are going out there and buying them. We have made it so that if you want it, within 2 to 3 weeks you can have it.
Wow.
Sometimes it takes a little longer depending on where it comes from. You have to pay some money for it. And our duties and shipping here are extremely high. And on makeup, I think it's like 20%. I have to check that. But the point is, you want it, we'll give you a quotation. You can afford it. You pay for it, 50% down, and you're out the door. Yeah. So that is one aspect of the business that we're really focusing on now, and we want to get to the point where we have an actual website. You can go and place your order, and you get it within whatever time.
What are the types of events that you've worked at?
Yeah, we've done quite a few weddings so far, but I've done a couple of pageants for just out teen talent. That was big for me. That's kind of my stomping ground. Yeah. I made a lot of connections there. I was able to do a few of the contestants, and I did a lot of free work there. Okay. It wasn't intentional, but I have a very soft heart. So if I see a young lady and I can see she needs a little lipstick, a little foundation, and she has her own, I'll use it. I sometimes even use my own. And it's, it was kind of frowned upon by the other makeup artists in the building at the time, because it's like, you can't wait talent. But I don't know who I can bless. I don't know if by doing that, if the young lady's going to call me. And I got actually about 3 or 4 clients out of just doing makeup pro bono. Okay. So Richard Stout was a big one for me. What else have I done? Oh my lord. What have I done recently? I've done Richard Stout. I've done a number of weddings. We did Miss Big and Beautiful last year, very first time. That was a lot of fun, and our contestant came second. Big up to Nikki. She was a joy to work with, so much fun. And what else have we done? Well, more recently, we did a top model show, and that we unfortunately can't talk much about, but we did. That really expanded our horizon. We got to work with some of the biggest names in England. It was cool. It was really a good time. We went to Dominica to do Dominica Fashion Week, Barbados Fashion Week. So we've done like a lot of little things in between there, like a lot of little runway things. But more notably, we were asked to do a lot of large events, but because of our numbers, there's only 2 makeup artists at this point. So we would have to outsource to get the numbers that people would want. But we were getting some good recognition.
Were you present at Girlfriend Expo?
No, actually, we did Girlfriends last year. This year, unfortunately, we couldn't do it, and then I was not comfortable with going to Concord Experience. I was told that it was quite nice, but I couldn't see Moden doing it this year, not given the path that we've decided to take as far as development. I want, when we go back to Girlfriends Expo, because that's where we really started. Last year we had a booth and it did fantastic. We got a lot of forward from that. But I want next year when we come out, and we're coming back to Girlfriends Expo next year, we're going on fame. We want to be a presence. We want to be a force to be reckoned with when we get there. So we're sitting back this year. We're working hard, so the next year when we come hard.
Give some advice to anyone that's starting.
Pray fast. If you cannot afford to do it on your own and you absolutely have to get a loan or funding, no problem. But I think trying to go it on your own is always the best way. Having a loan to pay at the end of the month as an entrepreneur is super hard. Yes. I mean, you got your bills, you got your food, you got your car if you have a car, or you got to put bus fare there and you still got to pay a loan. Oh, yeah. It's difficult. If you're a person with a mortgage or rent, it's hard. I think the most important thing is staying focused. Have a good core. I have family. My aunt, if I don't wash my brushes, she can't tell me your brushes nasty. I'm not gonna wash them. She tidies up all of my makeup for me if I've had a whirlwind, and I'm not the tidiest when it comes to my makeup or anything else. And she will put everything in place. My uncle lends me his van when I need to borrow it. My grandparents make sure I have something to eat. Yeah. My mom makes sure my clothes are washed, so when I go to look for something, it's there. I have a really great support system. Andy's family supports me. His mom, when she travels, brings back makeup for me without my asking. His brothers are really, brother really is really supportive. His dad does all of my printing. He looks after me. I just have to, Dad, I need so you always coming to me last minute, but I can get it by the midnight, same night or the next day. And so my girlfriends, I just got called and said, listen, I have an event, I need some help. What time? Yeah. And they're there. If they can't stay the whole day, one of them to switch with the other so that she can do what she has to do. But fantastic support. And I have to mention Barbadian. She came into our lives last year at Girlfriends Expo. Out of nowhere, the clear blue sky. And we call her my lifesaver. Verna makes sure that all the makeup is there. She has become a phenomenal makeup artist as a result. Lisanne, the same thing. She's not into the makeup artistry, but she pushes more than like it's her own. Wade has stuck by me when I had my rants and raves, my freak out sessions. Wade has been there, and Chris now is like the daddy of the group. Chris made sure that we all got together, and when we go shoot, we got all the equipment we need, transportation we need, we on our way. So we're fortunate.
Just give me a quick run through, but I'm laying on the book.
Quick
run through of your service to a bride. The day of and before and whatever.
Oh, that is super quick actually. It's very easy. You must have a trial at least 2 weeks before because they need to see the skin in whatever state it may be in. And the deposit is made at the same time. Day of, you have to allow me to know where you're getting dressed, obviously where the photos are being taken. I like to meet with the photographer beforehand, develop a rapport. If it's not possible, I like you to tell me who it is so that I can call them.
Yeah.
We get there, sometimes we get there 2 to 3 hours before, depending on how many people we have to do. If it's just the bride, which we've never had, we've always had bride and bridesmaids, maybe not the full complement, but we have bridesmaids as well. I like to be there at least 2 to 3 hours before. Anything can happen because we also help the bride to dress if she needs. I also need time to make sure that you're settled, I'm settled, all the makeup is laid out, and we can get cracking and enjoy the day. So if your wedding, let's say for example your wedding's at 3 o'clock and they're at 12 or 12:30 or 1, we make sure that we lay out everything, find a good area with light, start to work on the bridesmaids first. Bride is always last so that she's fresher. At the end of our service, we make sure the bride goes off to the church. We clear up everything. If you don't want us to stay in your room, which is perfectly understandable, we pack up our stuff, we're waiting outside for you to leave. Once we see the limo drive off with a car or whatever, we follow you to the church, make sure that the face is good, and then we follow you to photography. At the end of photography, that's where our contract ends. But if you would like for me to stay on with you to go to reception, or the reception is where the photos are being taken, then I'll stay with you then. But that is it in a nutshell. It's a basic process, but staying with the bride gives us the edge.
Thank you. So how can we contact Moden Makeup?
Okay, let me go from top to the bottom. Our email address, Heidi at modenmakeup.com. We're also available via Gmail, so it's modenmakeup@gmail.com. I have a cell phone. If you want to, you just email me and I'll give you the number. We're on WhatsApp. I believe in WhatsApp. We're also on Instagram, as you mentioned before. We're on YouTube. So Instagram is Moden Makeup. YouTube is Moden Makeup as well. Keek, which is a new social media on this video type thing, is on iPhone. Both Lucinda and I have Keek. She is L_S_M_R, and I am at Moden MUA. We're also on Twitter. Next week we'll be on Tumblr, and our website, God willing, will be up by the end of the year. So we got enough things that you can reach me on.
No excuses, people.
On Facebook, duh.
My stalking girl. I mean, my
stalking girl.
My
I'm stalking pictures. So I see wedding pictures. You get dressed with things. You're welcome.
It's a pleasure. I just so happy to finally meet you.
I'm so glad to meet you. I just keep saying Alison Biscuit Glasgow, Miss Bissette Glasgow. Get it correct, Pageants. But a pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for the support. And I hope I can support you with Little Pink House on the Hill Productions. Let me tell you, little as much when God is in it, you will do fantastic.
Thank you.
I can see it. Thank you very much.